Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're here from TikTok, you already know who I am. If you randomly came across this video, look me up on TikTok and I'm Crazy Alex, the same as my YouTube channel. I want y'all to like. The likes really help me, get around the whole world. So like this right now. You know what I'm saying? Like it right now, even though I ain't even started freaking talking. Like it. Subscribe. You can hit the little bell to get notifications when I do post things online. I try to post once a week, but this week I'm posting more than once. I'm working on this all day to keep from going outside and the whole virus thing that's going on that's like rocking the nation right now. So I'm trying to keep myself busy. This person, I'm going to read this email because there's a lot of stuff in here that I've dealt with. One thing in here is a tubal pregnancy that I have. A lot of you people don't even know, but I dealt with that in 2010 and I had one of my tubes removed, but I'll go through that at the end. So I'm going to change your name to Leah. I'm going to try my hardest not to say the kids' names, the husband's names, or the ex's name. So it says, Crazy Alex, my name is Leah. I'm 26 years old. I'll be 27 on Monday the 16th. That's my birthday too, girl. So happy late birthday. I have severe ADHD. I have 4 kids, 6, 5, 1.5, and a 10-month-old. I'm an angel mommy to Isaiah Anthony. I'm going to say that name. I've been married to my husband for going on 3 years, September 22nd. When I was in 5th grade, I met a boy. We were only about 11 or 12 years old, but we decided to date. Our relationship actually lasted 7 years. At the age of 19, we had experienced pregnancy symptoms, yet we didn't think much of it. February the 14th, 2013, I showed up to my OB to find out the sex of my baby, but they couldn't find a heartbeat. I was rushed out of the medical center to have my fallopian tube removed because my son never made it out. He was 5 months formed in my tube. My tube was huge. It was at the point of rupturing. The night out of fear, we left the hospital, ended back up in the hospital the very next morning from a severe abdominal pain. I ended up getting surgery. I was too late for shots. Once my tube was removed and everything seemed okay, they asked me to come back in 3 days. Without hesitation, I showed back up to get checked. I kid you not, the second I walked into the doctor's office, I saw my son lying on the silver tray. His little arms had been ripped off in the process of taking him out. That is so sad. His little body was semi-formed. The doctor was able to still inform me that he wasn't fully formed because he was stuck in my tube. My baby's dad had left me the very next morning after my surgery. Because severely depressed. I remember my dad remodeling the kitchen. His ex-best friend had his brother remodeling the kitchen. Hold on, y'all. Oh, his brother's name is Miguel. Ooh. Wow. He invited us to a quinceañera. I hope I said that right. This was 2 weeks after my surgery. I had a couple drinks too much that night and I had sex with the person. I got pregnant with my son. I begged for an abortion for the longest until the day of my gender. The second I found out it was a boy, I fell in love. I stayed with him not knowing the hell that I was going to go through. For 3 years, 3 freaking years, I did not speak to my dad, my sister, and family. It was forbidden. Of course, I spoke with them when Miguel, why I keep saying his name, wasn't around. I had VOS called on me over 5 times because I was too shook with my child for spanking him. I was belittled by his family for 3 years. After I paid for my son's first birthday party, I found out I was pregnant with my second child. My pregnancies were high risk due to I never healed correctly from the loss of my son. A month after my daughter was born, the man decided to start putting his hands on me. He pushed me so hard my daughter slipped out of my hands. I was able to catch her with my elbow and my hip. Once I grabbed my daughter correctly, I buckled her in her car seat. The car seat on the door. I buckled her in my car seat, set the car seat on the door, and thank goodness that he was stupid enough to stay still. I climbed the bed and I proceeded to punching him in the face. I'm 5 foot 1 inch. He's 5 foot 3 inches. I was pissed. If I hadn't caught my daughter, she wouldn't be here. My floor was pure cement. I kicked his ass out. Not only was he controlling and abusive, he was also a cheater. I supported him cheating on me for 3 years. He was controlling to the point of I was locked inside my own house because if another man looked at me, I was a whore. I never worked until after he left. I managed to stay alone for almost 2 years with zero help from him, no child support. He came by every time he remembered he had kids, which was one of my mistakes allowing that. I harmed my son so bad with allowing him to do that, my son not only saw the abuse, he experienced it firsthand. Even after leaving him, he continued to call CPS on me. That's probably what was meant in the first, but she said VOS. CPS on me, trying to remove my children from my custody, and each time he failed. My daughter stopped seeing her dad at the age of 6 months because he molested her. Wow. She has no idea whom her biological dad is. After meeting her now husband February the 4th, 2017, we moved to North Carolina. I thought I had done good, but he only led CPS up there too. I was pissed. 10 months up there, and yet he still wouldn't let me be happy. I'm followed every second of my life. He knows everything we do. After 5 years of him and his family not being around, I get weird Facebook messages asking to see my kids. That the abusive man, was locked up. Nothing new. He's an illegal. My husband, after hearing my input, my dad's, my family, and my friends' input, he still didn't care. He said, Leah, people change. Well, there's nothing wrong with change, but Satan will never change. After I told him, okay, we will do this your way, but it won't end well. After it not ending well, we'll do it anyways. We'll do it my way. I had just had third child. I'm not going to say her name. We had no idea I was pregnant. We found out at 6 months gestation. This was in September. Everything seemed to go fine. Three of my 4 kids have ADHD and odd and bipolarness. So you can imagine my day. Well, my kids get out of hand and very badly. On January 13, 2019, my 2 oldest had gotten all candies. I had took them to their room, opened all of them, and rubbed them on the sheets, walls, pillow, and toys, leaving everything dirty. The kids opened all of the candy, rubbed them on the sheets, walls, pillows, toys, leaving everything dirty. I spent all day cleaning up. On the 12th, yes, I was mad. I took the belt and spanked them on the butt and one of the hands, leaving no marks. Well, after I showed them and dressed them because they were going to go see their grandma from Dad's side, they called me asking if I could let them spend the night. It triggers me that something is up. They had called CPS on me, got my custody removed temporarily. They tried to blame my husband, whom at the time his immigration status was in process. I couldn't allow that. They were mad because I married my husband and got his green card, and I wouldn't go for her son. My husband is 7 years older than me, and my kid's father is 16 years older than me. So I was never going to marry him and fix his papers. So they were big mad. I ended up going to jail, catching 2 felonies, injury to a child with intent, known felony 3. I think that's what you're saying. My kids are removed from the house. Asked CPS for my classes and requirements for the kids to come back home with me. I did everything in less than a month. They've lifted my restrictions. I ended up giving birth to my last child April the 30th, 2019. My kids were returned to me April the 12th, 2019. My CPS case was closed June 2019, and one of my felonies was removed from my record. I'm currently still going to court for my other felony. My son, while being in this other's family custody, tried to kill his cousin and started acting up. They tried to get me out of jail while on my restrictions. Knowing I couldn't see my kids, they would call and beg for me to break. But I always declined with a heavy heart. But I knew I would only make things worse if I had accepted. My husband now has to deal with my kids' PTSD from the separation and from seeing me get in cuffs and taken by the police. We are now going through counseling with my kids, and right now everything is going great, all because of my husband not losing his marbles. LOL. He kept my family strong, and together my kids call my husband their dad and the ex a stranger. My son doesn't like when we talk about the ex because he gets super salty. But even though so much damage the ex has put me through, my family always gets through. We struggle now, but in the end, we know that the current husband does as much as he can for us and his 2 girls. You can change our names if you like. I did. I do not mind you sharing my story. More people need to speak. And this was sent from an iPhone. I just want to say for the first thing I want to say is that you are a very strong woman. You are very strong to go through all of the stuff that you have went through over the years and to not have broke and said, you know what, I'm tired of this. I'm done with life and I don't want to be here no more. So first I want to salute you for that, for being that woman that is strong enough to stick here and hold on to. I mean, at 27 years old, there is so much that you have been through that doesn't even compare to half of the shit that I've been through. Like, you are a very strong woman, and I want you to remember that, and I want you to know that as we're going through things, we think like, God, like, why, why are we going through this? Like, and we don't understand that, and people say don't question that you'll figure that out in the long run, which I think that you will. First of all, on the tubal pregnancy part, I just want you to know that in 2010, I got pregnant for the first time. I was really upset because I was stuck with the guy that was just, oh my God, he was horrible. I was really upset, like I cried and everything. I was having pains. I went to the hospital. Well, actually, I was at work. I told them that I was having pains. They knew I was pregnant. My manager was like, don't go to the hospital. I hate to say it, but I think you're having a miscarriage. Just go home, lay down, take you some Tylenol or ibuprofen, and, you know, it'll pass in a few days. But I ended up going to the hospital. So I, too, my baby was stuck in my right tube. When I got to the hospital, they couldn't find a heartbeat. Like, it was devastating at the time when I found out, like, that I wasn't having, like, I cried when I found out I was pregnant, but then I cried again whenever, you know, I had to go through all that. I had to have emergency surgery right then. She said that if I would have waited any longer, that I would have had my tube rupture and, of course, hemorrhaged and possibly died. So I had my right tube removed. I stayed in the hospital for 5 days. They wouldn't let me eat nothing until I passed gas. I couldn't go home. Again, like, I remember being sad because I'm like, you know what? I'm up here with all the mothers, like, on this floor where all the mothers that gave birth, and you can hear all the babies crying, and I'm the only one sitting here, and I don't have my baby, and, like, it was so sad for me. And that was the time that I lost myself, and I was like, you know what, I used to tell my mom, I was like, you know what, there ain't no God, like, if there was a God, he would have never did this to me. If there was a God, he wouldn't have put me through this stuff. Like, and my mom used to always say, like, don't say that, how could I have made it all these years raising 3 kids on my own if there wasn't a God? Like, you have to believe that there's a God. And then through the years, I've realized, like, it happened to me, and, you know, it hurt, and I couldn't figure out at the time why it happened. But as I've went through the past 10 years now, I've realized that it happened because I wasn't who I needed to be. I think that the reason that I haven't had children and all this long, I think my mom controlled a lot of that because she prayed. She prayed. And now I just look back at it and I'm like, you know what? I lost a child, and I think about it because my child birthday would have been December the 25th. So when that time comes around, I think about it. I say happy birthday. I don't talk about it a lot to anybody. I don't think my mom, my sister, my brother, like, nobody I've ever really talked about it to. But I think about it all the time, like, how my child would have been and all that stuff. So I do understand that part of going through, like, the whole tubal pregnancy and, you know, what you felt and all that stuff. I am glad to see that you were able to have kids after that. I got pregnant in late November 2018. I did not know I was pregnant. Me and Billy had just bought our house. We were partying like every single weekend outside, like bonfires and stuff. I remember it was like Thanksgiving. I had my first Thanksgiving dinner here at home, and we all were like getting tore up and drunk and just having fun. And then that was on a Thursday. Then that Sunday, I was trying to clean my house. Like, I had pain so bad, I was like, I gotta sit down. So I took a pregnancy test. Like 2 days later, it came back positive. I went to the hospital. Of course, they wouldn't do ultrasounds or none of that because they were saying that my HCG levels were so low. But unfortunately, I had a miscarriage. I think that, you know, it had to be from my drinking and stuff. Like, I really legit thought I can't have kids. Like, I'm not going to be able to have kids. But it did happen, and unfortunately, I lost that one too. But at the same time, over the past couple years, going through everything that I've been through and finding myself in this relationship and us both trying to get to a common ground with how we treat each other, I am thankful because I say, you know what, if I would have had that child then, Billy would have never changed and been the man that I needed him to be, because he would have thought that I needed him, and he would have stayed like exactly who he was, because he knows that I don't want to have my child in a broken home, because I know that really not everybody does, but sometimes we just have to do what we have to do. She said that she was writing in just to tell her story, because there could be other people that are out there dealing with that, and it's very true. My nephew watches this channel, my sister watches this channel, and there's things I want to say, but I don't want to upset anybody. But as far as dealing with not speaking to your family and stuff, we dealt with that for a while. My sister, she did not come around for, I guess it was like 3 years, 4 years almost, where I didn't get to see or talk to her. I didn't get to see or talk to the kids. And like, that was a real hard time for me in the beginning. And then afterwards, I always try to look at the bright things. I was like, you know what, one day those badass little fucking kids will be back, and I can give them all the love in the world. So I do understand you going through that. I'm glad that you found yourself and you were able to get out of that and finally get back to your family. I just want to say, anybody that's dealing with a situation where the person you're with, whether it's a man or a woman, and they don't want you around your family, I think that I can understand if your family is toxic and they are disrespectful to the person that you're with, and they always have something negative to say, or maybe they choose to, like, you can come over but your spouse can't come over. Like, I understand the spouse being upset about that, but I feel like if you know for a fact that your family has done nothing to the person that you're with, and if they have done something, then maybe the person you're with has done something as well. I just feel like, through the year, we make mistakes in life, and I feel like through the years, you can't hold on to that grudge forever. So ladies or gentlemen or whoever that's watching, I just want y'all to know that the most important thing in life is your family, and you have to find some kind of way to combine the two, even if they don't get along, even if they don't agree on stuff. I just want y'all to know that if you're a person that hasn't seen your family in a long time, I just want you to remember that life is short, and you can't go back and change things in life. You can only go forward. So if you're a person and you haven't seen your mom in a long time, or your sister or your brother, or you haven't reached out to them because you feel like, you know what, they haven't reached out to me or something like that, and you're just trying to keep peace in your marriage or your relationship, I just ask that you right now pick up the phone, send them a message, tell them you love them, tell them that you miss them or whatever. Let them know that you're here for them, because a lot of times when women or men get stuck in a relationship where they have to choose between my spouse and my kids, or my mom and my sister and my brothers, after all those years, eventually they'll come back around. But through those years, I can imagine that's the only thing that's going on in their head is that, you know what, I've done my mom or whoever like this, so I'm pretty sure that they don't want me around. I'm pretty sure that they don't care, they don't love me. You just got to remember, like, be supportive of that person no matter what they're choosing to do. I promise you that deep down inside that they love you, and they think about you every single day. And y'all, I'm tearing up. They think about you every single day, and no matter what, don't get mad at that person for trying to keep peace in their marriage. Like, love that person and let that person know that no matter what, you are there for them. As far as like the like I said, I haven't been through this stuff, but I can tell you this. I feel like you did right by keeping your kids away from the abusive ex, because even though like it'll upset them right now, or it'll make them mad, it is the safest thing that you can do. And parents don't understand that you're gonna go through life. You could be the perfect fucking parent, but I promise you're gonna go through life where your kids tell you that they hate you, that they're mad, they want to go live with their dad. Like, I hear that all the time from my friends' kids, that their dad is not in the picture, dad ain't did a motherfucking thing, but the kids always get mad and holler about how they want to go live with their daddy. And then, deep down, you just want to tell them that, your dad don't give a shit. So I feel like being a strong woman and going through that, I just want to salute you for that, and know that even if the dad was in the picture, your kids are still going to have those times where they're upset. Your kids are still going to be pissed off about something and swear that you're the worst person in the world. But I promise you, once they're older and once they're out of them horrible fucking teens and all that shit, they're gonna come back around. They're gonna be your best friend. Like at 17, my mom couldn't tell me nothing. I was just like, oh, she gets on my nerves, like blah 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 blah. And now I'm just like, you know what? If you don't answer this damn phone and give me your advice, I'm coming to where you're at. I'm gonna whoop your ass. So now I'm like the closest person to my mom. All the stuff that you dealt with, like I said, this is a lot. Like in one email, this is a whole lot, and I'm so glad that you put this out here because, like you said, there are people that are actually maybe dealing with something of the same nature, and maybe that'll help them to know that they're not alone. If you want people to know who you are, you're more than welcome to comment in the bottom, and I can pin your comment so that people can see the first comment when they scroll through. As far as whenever the ex keeps telling you that people change, you're right, people do change. But when people are so manipulative, and like you said, he has molested one of your children, those people, I wouldn't give them the second chance at all. I would not give them a second chance. When my kids were old enough to actually understand and to communicate with them, I would be open with them. I would be honest with them. I would save this motherfucking email. This from 2020, March the 12th, 2020. I would save this email. Like, look, that's why I tell my friend, like, she was like, my girls, they keep getting upset because, you know, their dad don't come around, their dad don't do this, their dad don't do that. I'm like, you know what? The only thing you can do is love them. Love them and let them know that you're here, and when they're old enough, you let them know the decisions that he made. Like, I think that's the best thing in life, is to just let them, when they're old enough, let them know everything. Don't hide anything from them. My mom, I always knew that my stepdad was not my real father. My mom, and I never met my dad a day in my life. I don't know. I mean, I think he came around when I was first born. But as far as like knowing him, I don't know him. If I passed him, he stays in Honduras, I guess. But if I passed him in the store, I wouldn't know who the hell he looked like. And just from that, I used to always tell my mom, like, I hate you. I wish I could live with my dad, blah, 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 blah. And now I'm just like, that piece of shit. You can't do nothing for me. Like, so kids are going to go through that phase, and there's nothing in life that you can do to keep them from going through that phase. Like, it's all a part of growing up. Like, they'll understand when they get old enough, and you just have to understand that. And you seem like you're a very intelligent person, and you actually know like what you have going on with your life, where you want to be and where you don't want to be. Again, man, I salute you for being such a strong person. I also salute you for coming open about your story, and you did use your names, and you did tell me that I could tell who you was. I just chose not to, but you can comment, like I said, and I'll pin it to the top so people can reach out to you and maybe ask you questions if they're in that same type of environment. As far as like CPS, man, I have a family member now, like they do that shit constantly all the time. Like, they go through this whole thing where they're trying to make their ex look like the horrible mother, and they're constantly calling CPS and lying. Like, people don't understand, y'all. Stop fucking calling CPS for nothing. And I'm pretty sure one of the people are not watching this, but I'm just saying, like, it's ridiculous that people want to call CPS on another parent, and they know deep down inside that nobody's doing anything to harm these children, but they just want to put like, you're putting so much on your children. Do you know how much you're putting on your children? Do you know that they have to go there and they have to be interviewed by all these fucking people and ask the same question 10,000 times? And in their head, they're trying to figure out what the hell is right and what the hell is wrong. That is what's wrong. Like, these kids are going through so much that they just don't understand, like, who is real and who is fake. My mom's telling me this, and my dad, and I got all these people. Like, people, stop talking about your spouse, or if it's your grandkids, stop talking about their parents around them. Like, y'all are fucking these kids up, and you don't even understand it. Like, I tell Billy all the time, and his baby, his little girl, she ain't even little. She'll be 19 September or 20. She's pregnant with her first child. His mom, he'll say something sometimes about some, like, they don't really talk no more since she got pregnant, because they're like in this whole mad thing. I wish they would get over it, but I try not to get in it no more. And he'll say something like, you're gonna be just like your mama, you know, your mama ain't shit. And I'm just like, bro, stop. Like, this girl is old enough to know what you are and what her mama is. Like, there's no reason for you to down her mama or for her mama to down you. Like, just leave that shit out of it, because y'all are really tearing these kids up and you're causing so many problems. Like I said, my stepdaughter, she'll be 19, and just dealing with all of this stuff, and like her mom and her dad going back and forth, and like feeling like the world is against her. And I would probably feel the same way. Like, nobody loves me, like nobody is paying attention to me, like everybody is worried about the next person and nobody's worried about me and what I'm going through. And she, just a few years back, she checked herself into Parkwood. It's like a behavioral mental institution, because she was having a lot of problems, y'all. And I had to tell her, I was like, you know what, F your mama, F your daddy, because I feel like both of them could be better parents. She was raised by Billy's mother. I feel like both of them could have been better parents. Yeah, they were young at the time that it happened, but there's a lot of stuff as you get older you learn, and I feel like they could have learned from that and been better parents. So for me, it used to really hurt my feelings in the beginning, and now I'm just like, you know what, I'm not even gonna get in it no more. I still talk to her, like I love her to death. I'm like, I'm just not even gonna get in it no more. Like, I do for her, I do for the grandbaby, like all that stuff, but all in that drama and shit. Like, life is too fucking short, and then if either one of them die right now, you know, they'll be one of the first people up there crying and screaming. Like, they don't understand that, and I think that we understand it more because you know, we lost my dad when I was 10 years old, so you kind of know what it's like to lose a parent or somebody close to you. Y'all, I'm just rambling, huh? You kind of know what it's like to lose a parent. You kind of appreciate them more. I don't think that you should give this, Leah, that's what I'm calling you, I don't think that you should give this man another chance. I don't think that you should have anything to do with, or if there's some kind of way legally you could go about, you know what? Delete Facebook. We don't need Facebook. Delete Facebook. Don't have a Facebook account. I deleted my Facebook account right at 3 years ago. Y'all, it was the best move I ever made in my life. I have one now that it doesn't have my picture up there. It doesn't have my real name. Like, my mom calls me Alley Cat. It has that. And I just used it when I would buy hidden clearance stuff and I would resell it. But other than that, like, I don't... Facebook, we let people know too much of our life. Like, we let people know our every fucking move, and then we get mad and we wonder, like, why you always in my business? Because we're always posting it. I say delete Facebook. Talk to your husband now. I mean, y'all delete your social medias so they can't reach out to you. That gives them, even though you think, well, they can't see nothing, people sneak in any kind of ways as they can. That gives them a way to check in, to see what you're doing, to see this and to see that. Delete it. Delete it. Leave social media alone. Just say, fuck it. Delete it. Don't worry about it. I just want to say to your husband that you have now, I just want to tell him that he is a great man. Like, to deal with all of this and to still be there to take care of you and to take care of the kids and everything that he's going through, he is able at any time to get up and walk away, because that's the easiest thing for a man to do. He's able to get up and walk away, but he chooses to stay there. He chooses to love you. He chooses to love the kids. He chooses to go through everything that y'all are going through. I just want to say that that is a great man. And I hope that each and every day you appreciate that man and you let him know how much you love him, and you go out of your way above and beyond, because I know that I would if it was me in that situation. As far as like the kids and what they're going through, man, you just gotta love your kids. Like, love your kids through everything. I feel like CPS, they make it so hard nowadays. Like, back in the day, I can't remember like CPS jumping in ever, like with my mom. And that's what they need to do. Like, let people whoop their fucking kids again. No, don't beat the hell out of them and you punch them and shit. But kids need their ass whooped again. They taking out whoopings and all this shit. Like, I don't understand it. Like, it's just freaking insane. I feel like the kids, the best thing for them is what you said. They're going through therapy and all that stuff. And to me, that is the best thing, where they're able to just tell somebody how they feel. That, you know, don't know either side of the story, can help them get through whatever, I say just open up, let your kids know, look, I love you to death. I'm here if you need to talk. Like, the best thing you can do in the world is to love your kids and to let them know that you love them. It's not buying them fancy shit or making sure they got this and that. It's actually letting them know that you are there for them through everything. So, you did send me pictures, but you know, girl, I don't want to, I really don't want to show, like, this stuff on here. But she did send me pictures of the kids, and they are so precious, girl. They are so precious. And you are so beautiful. Like, you have a beautiful family. Y'all, they're so cute. I'm sorry, I really don't want to show anything on here. But girl, I say stay. Oh, they're so cute. I say stay true to yourself. Don't let this bring you down. You seem like you're a very strong person to be 27 and go through all this stuff. So again, I don't know how many times I said that I wanted to salute you and just say, you know what, you've came this far, can't nothing break you. And then you got to remember that the storm don't last forever. There's no way that this shit can last forever, because, you know, right now he might be calling CPS on you, and he might be doing this and that to try to ruin your life and to try to do whatever it is to break you down. But guess what? Once some kids hit 18, what he gonna do then? He can't touch you then. So I say, man, just show your husband that you have now that does all this stuff and, you know, is there for you and the kids. Just show them. So the last one is her ex. Sorry, y'all. The last one is your ex, okay. And then she shows me when she got married. Um, Man, I say just continue to be the best you can be. I think the best thing right now is deleting your social media account so that people cannot keep up with you. And I promise you, y'all, it's not hard. It's not hard. It is not hard. You got TikTok, girl. You can scroll on TikTok all day long. But I think you should delete that account for a while. Because like I said, even if you got your account private, you never know the people that are on your account that are actually in cahoots with him and letting him see your statuses or where you're at or what you're doing. Delete that shit for a while. Try it. You know what? Try it for 2 months. Try it for a month at first, and just watch how silent she is and how much better life is, because this person cannot find you. He cannot watch your every move. He cannot see what you're doing. Don't give him a second chance. I say that over and over again. Do not put yourself back in a situation where he has already harmed your children. Like, that is the lowest scum on fucking earth. And one day, karma is gonna get his ass. Karma is gonna get his ass. Do not fall back in that. I wouldn't give him the time of day. If he wants to sit up here and say, let me see my kids, let me see my kids, you know what I tell him? Bitch, take me to court. Take me to motherfucking court. Because, he just, it's not fucking worth it. Like, it's not worth it. You got to block yourself from the outside world, girl. Delete your social media. I can't say that enough. And just block every person that's not in your everyday life. And watch how much better your life gets. Watch how much your life changes. And we don't even understand it. Like, Facebook, girl, I was constantly on Facebook. I deleted it. I was like, oh, I can't take this. I can't take this. I downloaded Snapchat. Just had like a few people on there. Because, you know, on Snapchat, you got to add people in order for them to be your friend. So I say delete that. I thank you again for reaching out and telling your story, because I'm pretty sure there's somebody here that's dealing with some of the same shit that you're dealing with. And if you want to be known, girl, leave your comment. I'm going to pin you like I done said 83,000 times, and people can reach out to you. I don't know if you want to put your email or what you want to put on there, but people can reach out to you and ask you questions about your situation, or maybe you can find friends and comfort in everything that you're going through. As far as your son not liking you to talk about his father, which is your ex, girl, he'll get over it. Like I said, try not to talk try not to talk about the ex, period, good or bad, like nothing. I wouldn't say anything in front of my kids. Y'all don't understand. That drives a wedge between you and your kids, because your kids feel like, well, he never did nothing to me. You can't get mad because he did that to you and he did do that. Like, don't talk about them, period. Trust that when they are old enough, they're going to see everything that went on. They're going to know who the real person is that was there and who the real monster was behind the scenes. Like, don't talk about them at all. Don't bring their name up. If you and your current husband need to discuss something, I just say wait till the kids are asleep, wait till the kids are gone to school, or whatever it is they need to be doing. But do not bring that up in the house while your children are there. Don't talk about them. Don't down nobody. Even if your kids talk to them or see that side of the family and they downing you, and your kids come back and they tell you, like, mama, they said this and they said that, just be like, okay, baby, that's fine. And that's it. You don't have to explain nothing to your child. Your child is your child. That's where some people forget, like, you are my child. I do not have to explain myself to you. So that's what and I don't have kids. So like I said, people can take this advice or not take this advice, but that's just me. I don't allow Billy to talk about his kids' mothers when they're around. Like, don't do that. Do not say nothing to them. Well, his mother passed away when my stepson was 8 months old, but I don't allow him. Like, you're not gonna sit up here and talk about my stepdaughter's mom and whatever. Like, just shut your mouth. If you want to talk about it, go outside and talk about it to your damn self, because I don't want to hear it. I'm not finna deal with the negative shit. Y'all are grown. Y'all are older than me. Whatever y'all got to say, y'all need to say it to each other. Stop going around here mumbling about each other. And I'm not saying this to be rude, but I'm just saying, in front of the kids, don't discuss adult matters. When we were little and my mom and them had to talk, she'll tell you in a minute. Don't you see grown folks talking? And we have to go our ass outside, or we have to go in the room and try to ear hustle through the wall. So, just being real, your girl just come from a part where I don't want your kids to experience no more than they already have. Just save that stuff. Save those conversations for when they're not around. You might need to say something right then. You know, you need to tell your husband, but you know what you need to tell him? Can you come in the room? I need to talk to you. Talk to him in there. Do not just stop completely talking about the dad, the ex, period. Don't even talk about it. Like I said, if your kids come and ask you something, I don't know. Just don't down them, because that's gonna cause a huge problem between you and your children. Don't do that. But again, thank you for writing in and letting me go through your story with some of the people that are here and that pay attention. And keep doing you. Keep loving your husband, loving your kids, holding faith in God, knowing that everything's going to work out. We don't understand why we're going through all the stuff that we go through at the moment, but in the end, one day you're going to wake up and you're going to say, that is exactly why I had to go through what I went through. So again, much love to you, and for the courage to write in and tell me everything that's going on in your life and putting yourself out there with your real information that I just chose not to talk about on here. But again, I'm calling you Leah. I love you very much, and I hope that you continue to be a strong ass woman and continue to have that great husband. And y'all don't let this stuff get to y'all. Don't let it come in between your marriage. Love each other every day. Appreciate each other every freaking day. I can't stress that enough, because in this world, I don't care what nobody says, somebody needs somebody, whether it's just a friend or somebody to lean on. Everybody needs somebody. So thanks again, y'all. And I don't know, I might do another one, but for right now, I'm taking a break. Y'all, if you're still here, you know what to put in the comments. # Crazy Alex Nation. Thank you so much.